Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dr. Doujinshi, and welcome back to another episode of Hentai Reviews, the only series where we guard our nuts 90% of the time because we're afraid we're going to get hit there. And that 10% of the time we should have been guarding them, we get kicked by a steel-toed boot from the fucking Packers. Now, today, we're going to be reviewing Redo of a Healer, episode 11. And remember how it got pretty stock standard fantasy anime for a while? Yeah, I'm not having a fun fucking time anymore. Oh, god damn it, this episode. Enough of that. Let's begin the actual series. And before I start, if you're new here, I do these videos all the time, and we're just about to wrap up of Redo of a Healer, at least Season 1, because I know Season 2 was announced, and I'm going to have to do that eventually. But yeah, I do a lot of these reviews. If you're new here, subscribe. If you want to watch more, if you don't, you can still watch them. You don't have to just subscribe. Just do whatever you want, as long as you're happy. I don't care. There. But nonetheless, let's go ahead and talk about this. Episode 11 starts with Kiaru healing the hero blade Aid's mind after she had been knocked out due to getting poisoned by a whole bunch of knives, and finding out that Norn is planning an attack on the city. So, then it cuts to the opening, of which case it wakes up, and the hero blade, is now laying mostly clothless on a stage, while Kiaru, still in his feminine state, is behind a well-cooked meal. Some choice cuts from a very... I don't know what part of the body that's from. I've never eaten it before, but it's where there's like meat in a little... It's like 6, and then there's meat, and then this is just bone. Like, what the fuck part of the animal is that? What animal is that in general? If you know in the comments, please tell me, because I don't want to look it up, because I don't want to feel stupid. Now, okay. She wakes up, she's paralyzed, she can't reach her stuff, and then he pulls back a curtain to reveal what is actually behind the curtain. And that curtain was hiding 3 brainwashed, very large men who are all completely naked, and whose teeth and mouth are watering like a son of a bitch. So, he decides to play a game with her. This game goes as states, and please, God, if I ever get monetized on this website, please know that this is just me recounting the events of the thing. I am not doing this because I am a sick son of a bitch. He proposes that she, a well-established lesbian at this point, satisfy these 3 men for a period of time until sunrise, and then she'll be let go. Or she decide to not do that, in which case the brainwashed men will cannibalize her, because there are 2 human functionalities in the basis of the brain: eat and fuck. And yeah, it gets pretty dark. This is where you remember that intro I did where it's 10% of the time you're supposed to cover your nuts that you don't? This is what I'm referring to. I was not expecting it to get this dark. So he sits there and he decides to, Kiaru the entire time decides, hey, I'm gonna watch this all happen. Because he's supposed to be the protagonist, but he is not the fucking hero, because this is dark as fuck. Which leads into Scene 1. I hate the fact that I even listed this as a scene. From 4 minutes and 55 seconds to 6 minutes and 20 seconds, and the only note I took during that time is, it just says, Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah, it starts out with her reluctantly doing it, and then crying while doing it, and then her head held back so at least she doesn't see what's happening, in which case Kiaru heals his face to look like Flair, not Freya. In which case she breaks down in a lot of different ways, stops the entire thing, in which case it cuts to the three guys surrounding her, where they're kind of like just covering up for the entire form of her, and then it cuts to them again, and there is a pile of blood just kind of around them, symbolizing the fact that she was violated and then cannibalized. In which case Kiaru stands up. The sword that Blade had turns from the sword into a formless gray sphere reminiscent of a pearl. He takes that and then leaves. Hopefully he burnt down that entire place just to get rid of literally everything. Because he did it once. I really hope he does it again. And I really hope that next time he finds another person he wants to torture, he doesn't do this a third time. Because he's already done it once. And it's kind of fucked. Yeah, I was going to not make a video today, and then I decided to make a video because I wanted to do the next redo of a healer, and I'm wishing I had just sent out the goddamn tweet. Nonetheless, after that, the gang all goes shopping to have a little bit of fun and know what's going on. As Kiaru goes up to the incredibly hot person he's been doing business with, as they have a nice chat about everything that's going on and their shared portions of the money, as Hawkeye, the scary guy from the last episode who has been following Norn along the entire time, comes by and gets a little bit of a beat on him, kind of figuring out what he's up to, what he's doing, and then Kiaru immediately goes into a fighting stance because fuck this guy, and they have a little bit of banter and a tense sort of session as they both split ways, in which case Kiaru goes back to his little building where he's staying, holds the orb in his hand, and is just like, you know what? If this thing can give me whatever I want because it gave everybody else whatever they wanted, maybe I can just get immortality out of it. So he essentially gets to be a Pact of the Blade, a warlock. And now he has a glove that does a lot of different shit for him. Because this thing is kind of a weapon, so I'm going to call it a weapon. It's a battle gauntlet with an eye in it. So it's definitely a warlock boon. Naturally, after feeling this much power and this much adrenaline, he goes and fucks his entire party, while the other one, who doesn't know them as well, kind of gets off in the other room. Leading to scene number 2, from 14 minutes and 5 seconds to 14 minutes and 50 seconds. Only 45 seconds. But it's at least not cannibalization, so it's pretty good. Naturally, it then goes into Norn attempting a little bit of a peacekeeping operation where she goes out on stage, surrounded by all of her guards, and says, Hey, we want to liberate this entire place from the demon threat that's been taken here. And all the mixed group of people, she essentially walked into an area and says, we're going to liberate everybody from the Hispanics. Like, she just calls out an entire race of people and says they're going to be liberated. So a whole bunch of people are like, hey, fuck you. What the fuck are you doing? And they all start getting angrier and angrier and throwing rocks, and eventually one guy jumps on stage and tries to kill her because she's a bitch. I don't think there's a lot more reason other than that, and it's a pretty damn good reason. She jumps up, Hawkeye cuts him down right there, and then Norn is like, oh, well, that was a human. Clearly he was brainwashed by all the demon magic. So now, everybody gets to be taken out. Peacekeeping time! Peacekeeping time! Yeah, and then she just decides martial law and tells all of her guards to go and start executing all the demons to make sure that they're safe. Pretty fucked up. And then points and then says, hey, if you're a human and you're fighting us, then you're obviously brainwashed, so you gotta die too. And then they essentially just go around and start like a scythe through wheat and just killing off people after people. In which case, Kiaru decides, oh shit, I should probably stop that. And then goes down there and then sees the one person I didn't want to fucking die. The hot shopkeeper. God fucking damn it. He fucking dies. And I'm not okay. Okay? I am invested in this show. I've watched Tenet. I'm 11 episodes in, and there's only one more. Yes, I'm upset. I was invested, and the only character who wasn't reprehensible in one way or the other, with no blood on their fucking hands, or clothes, or claws, or dick, or anything, dies. To incited police brutality, nonetheless. Damn it! Yeah, he dies. Kiaru goes up to him and says, "Hey, you were the only good person that I ever met." And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I gotta get back at these guards and Norn." And then pulls out his gauntlet. I'm like, "Yeah." And then he starts murdering all the guards. And I'm like, "Yeah." And he gets revenge pretty quickly. He just starts going around chip-chopping everybody, ninja fucking whatever, with his new gauntlet as they start stabbing him. And then he says, I won't die if you don't kill me. So what? Now he's just on headshot only mode? Like, is that it? Is that what the glove does? I'm immortal. So you have a fucking phylactery. You have like one part of your body that they're not supposed to hit. Yeah. The average lich can do that, and there's fucking hundreds of them in D&D. Am I the only one who doesn't see this as like a weird thing? Everybody else got supercharged weapons that made them badasses. And he gets a gauntlet that makes it to where only headshots kill him. What is he, a fucking zombie? That's all he is. That's all he is. Just zombie with a glove. He's fucking Michael Jackson. He is Michael goddamn Jackson. But nonetheless, Kiaru is rightfully pissed and goes around killing all the guards. Norn then goes and does her average, like, aristocratic cunt thing where she's like, "This isn't going as fast as I thought it was going to go, but we shall send out more troops." I'm a dick. Yeah. And then everybody starts to be like, "Well, maybe," political talk between the two people who's like, "Well, you do think is it?" Whatever the fuck. A guard comes in and says, "Hey, we can't find the swordsman because she's fucking gone. We saw her 3 days ago, though, but there's a new swordsman that's just going around killing a whole bunch of people." And she's like, "Send more guards after them, and I want them returned to me at the slightest moment. Please, come back as fast as you can." And then a giant fucking astral projection of Freya, in the form of Flare, because face has changed, says, "Hey, guess who's still alive? And guess who's still in charge? Because I'm the older sister." And then it ends right there. You know what I kind of want to do for my next review? I kind of want to just fucking finish this whole damn thing, just so I can either get some closure or a happier ending. And I know it's not going to be a fucking happy ending, because nobody ever gets a happy ending. I review things where people have sex. It either leads to STDs, pregnancy, or there's no continuation because the animation was amazing, the story was amazing, and they just decided, hey, no more. I've had a busy day. So, I'm going to go ahead and end it there with a, yes, I'm going to be continuing this series, and I might continue the next episode tomorrow or the next day, if I have the energy for it, because this took a lot out of me. Hey, so, naturally, yeah, I'm having a good day, and this was a fun episode, because I get to be a little bit more cartoonish and episodic, because I actually cared about one person who fucking died. I call myself the Doctor, but I do not have that Doctor's level of, like, nulled out for character deaths. So, I'll see you guys in the next episode, because I've had a lot of fun today, and I'm gonna do it tomorrow. Have a nice day. Thank you all for being here. And like I say at the end of every one of my videos, have a great day. Don't be a dick, there's too many of them, and wash your fucking hands. I've been the Doctor. Peace.